And we're live. Have you seen the latest Stephan Bonnar interview?
No.
Okay. So, viewers, Stephan Bonnar's UFC fighter. At his peak, he was probably like top 5 or 10 in his weight class, but he's really known for his fight against Forrest Griffin that kind of launched the UFC into the company that it is now. Okay. He's in the Hall of Fame for that fight. He has retired from professional fighting. He does a little professional wrestling, you know, the show. And he is clearly addicted to drugs, opioids. Videos came out semi-recently of him in the hospital, like swinging crutches at staff and stuff, keeping them away. Because, as Stephan Bonnar describes it, the hospital was full of people because of the COVID vaccine. And they're overwhelmed and they can't give him the pain meds that he clearly needs. So he has a standing prescription for pain meds from his doctor, but you know that runs out early, as they do, right? And he's like, I know the routine. You go to the hospital, you tell them this, they give you a shot and a prescription for something else. So he's trying to like get sort of 2 prescriptions cooking at the same time, as well as a shot of some sort of opioids. And I guess initially they told him that they were going to do it. And then they conferred, this is the hospital staff, and decided not to do it because he's doing this painkiller seeking behavior.
Yeah.
And that's when he flipped out in the hospital and sort of physically threatened the staff and stuff like that. I think there were police involved, and he's being interviewed by an MMA journalist. And to watch him explain what happened, like people who are experts in what these addicts are like, he just checked every box. First of all, he was describing the pain he was in as like excruciating. Every surgery he ever has had is haunting him at the same time. My knee is this, my wrist is that, my rib is something else. You know, I did this move, done it 1,000 times, but now my rib, it hurts just to talk to you. And he's like convincing the interviewer, attempting to convince the interviewer and us, and maybe himself, that the reason he needs these drugs is the outrageous pain that he's in all the time, not the addiction. And when you ask him the wrong question, like, hey, if you ran out, why didn't you contact your family physician? He responds with anger. He attacks the guy who asks the question and flies off the handle. Stephan Bonnar is in a bad place. And you hear him talk about his relationship with, he's like, I've got friends, and they're like, they act like they want to help me, but then when I tell them, you know, to get me some painkillers because that's what I need, then, you know, it's like, fuck you. Fuck. If you're not going to help me, then just get the fuck off the phone with me. What are you doing? Like, you know, fuck this guy. And like like they're calling trying to help him.
Does this guy have a history of this, or
it's new to me? Yeah, okay. But he's clearly an addict. Like if you were to watch it, I'd show it's 20 minutes. It's hard to like incorporate.
But clearly drug seeking behavior. Yeah.
Yeah. And afterwards I read the Reddit comments. There was a pro athlete who was like, I was this guy. And I did everything I could to convince everyone that I needed this for my pain and not for my addiction. That's what he's going through. And Stephan Bonnar is hooked on drugs right now, opioids, clearly. And it's sad to see. He was, I guess I have an affection, I guess I'll call, to the pro fighters who are more professional. Chael Sonnen comes to mind. Stephan Bonnar comes to mind. Joe Lozon comes to mind. Guys who are just like smart, you know, above average intelligence, who can do this right. And I'm getting distracted a little bit, but you know, I guess you can speak clearly and maybe went to college and stuff. Like when I see them, I guess I connect with them a little more than I do like a Mike Perry. If anyone knows Mike Perry, he's kind of, I want to call him a hood guy. He's white, but he's like just gangstery. And I like those guys on my TV too, but they're not the ones I connect to, like a Stephan Bonnar. And anyway, dude's fucked.
Yeah, hopefully he gets better, because that does seem to check every box.
It was crazy.
Going to multiple doctors, really exaggerating the pain.
Yeah, and you would imagine,
they say like, "Oh, we can give you this for the pain." It's like, no, I need 80 oxys, and that's it.
Yeah. Like, I think at one point he said they were trying other pain therapies. Like there are things they can do with like electrodes and stuff to help manage pain, but they don't help manage addiction. Zach has a quote here. I recognize this from the interview. Are you effing kidding me? Let me effing fracture your lumbar vertebrae and see how you feel 2 weeks later, and also break your wrist and also fuck your shoulder up and you're crutching around on it. Like, come on, man. Really? I'm being honest here. Do you have a problem? Fuck you. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Now I believe him. That was convincing.
This is what he said.
That was pretty convincing, honestly. It's just like
to the interviewer. He's like, let me fracture your lumbar. Let me do and you know, like it is kind of like you kind of buy it.
Mm-hmm.
If you watched all 20 minutes, you probably wouldn't.
Because of his career, like you're inclined to be like, well, he got beat up for a living.
I'm like, yeah, the knee thing, that was like 6 years ago. You're telling me that, like, I've got that. I don't even know which knee it is. I have to find the scar. You know, I've got this wrist thing. I've got this. And they don't bother, like, they fix it. You know, you're telling me that everything that's going wrong with you is like haunting you now.
Still
Dude's younger than me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway, Stephan Bonnar, a wreck. And it's sad to see.
Looks like he hasn't fought since 2014. So
has it been that long?
Yeah, that was on his wiki. Yeah.
What organization was that? Bellator?
It was Bellator. Yeah, I'm going off what I remember. Yeah, he fought. His last UFC was 2012.
Going off what you remember.
Well, I closed the window out.
Okay.
And so I think UFC was 2012, and
like, I'm
Bellator
a huge
was
Stephan
2014.
Bonnar fan from.
I'm a huge fan. I just go to my recent Googles. There he is. Stephan Bonnar. It's not Stephen, or I guess no, Stephan.
I'm pretty sure.